Great to welcome in Josh Gruber, the city manager of the city of Hardeeville, soon to become the center of the universe. With all of the growth going on out there, welcome in, Josh. Welcome back to WHHI. We've talked to you many times in your previous positions. How much fun you having in Hardeeville right now?
I am having more fun than I know what to do with, Bob. We have so many great things going on over here. It's an exciting time to be a part of the city of Hardeeville.
Let's talk about them. Beginning with the one that's got everybody in the whole Lowcountry excited, and that is the news that there will be a Buc-ee's at some point. Give us an idea on timelines and what's going to happen with that off I-95.
Yes, sir. So back in November, so just a couple of months ago, we were excited to formally announce that Buc-ee's will be bringing their business here to Exit 8, just off of I-95, and it's an incredible time to welcome them into our community. And frankly, the timing probably couldn't be any better for it because the DOT's moving forward with the widening of I-95, which we all know to be a critical project that we're looking forward to seeing done. But along with that, they're also going to be redoing a number of the interchanges along those portions of I-95, one of which is Exit 8. And so for the last several years, the city, the county, and the state have all been in communication with Buc-ee's so that the redesign of that intersection, which they call a converging diamond, but that converging diamond will be put in place specifically to help address the traffic concerns that accompany a lot of times Buc-ee's whenever they open a new location.
So the west side of I-95 will look a little different than it does now when you do the updates because of the exits?
Yes, sir. So it'll be interesting because when you're coming off the ramp, you'll be in the left lane, and when you're going on, you'll be in the right lane, which feels backwards. Ultimately, the engineers kind of believe that that's the best way to handle that. But the bottom line for us is, if I'm a traveler on I-95 and I decide I want to stop at Buc-ee's to get some beaver nuggets and some brisket, I can get off the interstate, get to their location, and get back on without having to travel a great distance and without having to interrupt other areas of the city.
And for folks who are trying to figure out exactly where it's going to go, it's going to be kind of in the northwest portion of where you see 278 cross I-95, right?
Yes, sir, it is. So if you're coming up from Bluffton, it's going to be past I-95, and on the right-hand side, currently there's a Subway, a gas station, and then a Holiday Inn Express. Buc-ee's is going to be back behind the Holiday Inn Express. And not only is Buc-ee's coming there, but they're going to have several out parcels. And so a lot of times they tend to bring other businesses with them. So it's not just Buc-ee's, it's going to be additional economic development prospects that are going to follow them in terms of commercial and retail businesses.
All right, a lot else going on as well in Hardeeville. Jasper County passed its tax referendum, sales tax referendum. So you guys have some money to play with now to work on the infrastructure around all the huge growth of all of the housing developments out there.
Absolutely. There are needs in many, many areas, and thankfully, Jasper County residents had enough foresight to know how critical it is to address these through a referendum. And so kudos to the folks that were out working on that for the last, I know it's been more than a year, but we're excited to get going with that. There's going to be an advisory body that's called for in the referendum that was adopted, that now that the elections are over with, they're going to get started. And so hopefully here sometime early spring, we'll start seeing that group meet. They'll start prioritizing those projects and start putting those dollars to work.
Oh, you just mentioned a date, and that reminded me, I did not ask about a date. What's the date for the Buc-ee's? What's the projected idea at this point?
Ideally, our goal is that the I-95 widening work in that area, the Exit 8 renovations, and the Buc-ee's, we'll cut the ribbon on all three of those on the same day, which we're hopefully looking at probably about 3 years from now, so sometime in 2028.
Yeah, not anytime soon. We don't have to start booking dates on calendars for that one. One of the big areas I think that you were talking about in the infrastructure situation is going to be you guys. There's a triangle name for it it's 278, 170, and Argent. That's going to be a really critical area, isn't it?
It is very critical, as I'm sure most folks who've driven around this area know. If you're going north versus south or east versus west, you've likely come through that triangle area
Yep.
at one point in time or another. And so it's highly congested, quite a bit of traffic. And so we need to go in and make some improvements to a number of intersections, to a number of areas along those roadways. And thankfully, with Jasper County passing their referendum, we know that a lot of the improvements that are going to be called for Argent Boulevard are going to be covered by that sales tax referendum. Unfortunately, though, a number of those areas are within Beaufort County. And so
Right.
because Beaufort County didn't pass their referendum, I don't know that we have a good idea about how those are going to come about. However, we are committed to working with our partners, both at the county and the state level, to figure out what we can do both now in the short term and start getting ready for those longer term projects that are going to need to come online at some point in time.
Fantastic. Josh, great to talk to you. I hope we get a chance to catch up again soon. Lots going on in the city of Hardeeville. Again, soon to be the center of the universe. Thanks so much, Josh. We appreciate the time.
Thank you, Bob. Take care. Have a great one.
All right. We'll be back with more of the WHHI Daily News right after this.